Key point 1. Deep work is becoming rare by the day. The deep work hypothesis states that this skill is getting rarer and therefore increasingly valuable in our economy. Those who cultivate this skill will become irreplaceable. Deep work is scarce. Why? Well, shallow work is much easier, and the business spurs it. Even large conglomerates are not left out. Facebook, for instance, wants to launch the most extensive open floor plan in the world. More than 3,000 employees will be working on movable furniture spread in an over 10-acre expanse of office space. This stimulates constant connectivity and fast response times, encouraging employees to choose the path of least resistance. This is a shallow work-induced environment where the employees work superficially. The principles of least resistance state that employees will always choose shortcuts if spared clear feedback on the effect of different behaviors, reduced to the ultimate point. If you don't produce, you won't thrive, no matter how skilled or talented you are. Cal Newport. According to Cal Newport, most workers engage in visible busyness or busyness as a proxy for productivity. As many do not know what it means and how to become valuable at work, they indulge in several industrial productivity indicators, doing things in a visible manner. It is hard to engage in deep work, while in the absence of clear goals, most employees arm themselves with self-preserving shallow work. Deep work is vital once you learn how to maximize the obtainable productivity. Deep work entails single tasking while having no distractions during a state of intense focus. As a result, you boost your performance and productivity. Studies have found that multitasking makes people less productive and that focusing on a single task at a time maximizes effectual output. Without distractions, you will get more things done in less time. You will experience higher productivity the more focused you are. And working for a while in this undistracted state has to do with attention residue. The next section will discuss more on this point. Although a lack of deep work allows the company to uncover significant potential advantages, a lack of deep work in today's businesses causes the company to miss a concrete way to optimize its production. If this trend continues, deep work will keep increasing in value. Therefore, you can use the information in this book to develop your ability to perform deep work and reap. Key point 2. Deep work's value is in its rarity. Cal Newport defines deep work as any professional activity carried out in a distraction-free state, allowing individuals to use their cognitive capabilities to the maximum. On the other hand, work can be shallow. It comes as non-cognitive demanding tasks, often carried out while distracted. Shallow work is never valuable. Someone who does this kind of work is replaceable. Deep work requires an environment free of distractions to maximize your concentration. Shallow work is best for low cognitive thinking tasks, such as checking your email or responding to notifications. It is an almost automatic, replicable process that doesn't require focus and provides satisfaction from completing simple tasks. Deep work is getting rare, leading to an increase in its value. But if you can cultivate this skill, you will thrive. As skills and jobs are being lost to automation, many people will lose out and will not survive. In the same vein, the group below will thrive and excel. They are the highly skilled workers. Those who are skilled at communicating and interacting with complex machines take away many low-skilled positions. The superstars. These people know that being the best in a market is not enough. Yes, there is a premium for being the best, but when the market is flooded with performers, customers will only go for the best of the best, no matter how small the competitive advantage they have over others. The owners. Individuals with huge capital invest in emerging technologies that threaten to disrupt the way we live. Technology is ever-changing, and you will have to learn and relearn a never-ending language quickly over time. To become a leader in this new economy dominated by machines and automation, you need to refine these two core abilities. The ability to quickly learn hard things. Technology is changing so rapidly that it is increasingly more challenging to grasp which technology is at the forefront. The competition uses complicated command lines, such as SQL. It is imperative to stay up to date. The ability to quickly and consistently produce high-quality work. Remaining flexible to change, no matter how drastic, and maintaining an open mind will take you to the top. An outdated viewpoint will hinder you. Key point 3. It is counterproductive to work in a semi-distracted state. When one switches from task A to task B, their 100% attention does not automatically go to the new task. Some people remain stuck at the original assignment. This is attention residue, and it is strongest if task A was unbounded or low intensity in nature before a person made the switch. Even if you complete task A before switching, part of your attention will remain temporarily on task A. What's wrong with occasionally checking your email? Some say it's better than always leaving it open. However, according to the author, this is hardly an improvement. As you switch to your inbox, you create a new target for your attention. Then, seeing task B you cannot accomplish at the moment, you will be switching back to task A with task B left unfinished. Attention residue boosts productivity when one works deep for an extended time. The principle of attention residue works like this. Every time you switch from task A to B, some of your attention remains in task A. Concentrating on the new task is harder, so you lose some productivity when switching tasks. Participants were asked to work on a set of puzzles in a study. The participants would first do an engaging activity by assessing CVs and picking a potential candidate. Participants were allowed to start and finish the puzzle in the second trial. Researchers tested between the two tasks to determine if attention residue was present. The findings show that attention residue hinders performance on the following task. If you want to perform at an optimum productivity level, work for long periods on a single task, with full concentration and zero distraction. Work deeply. Key point 4. The rules of deep work. Now that you know how valuable deep work is for productivity, you will have realized that knowledge is not the hard part. Rather, it is doing. Humans are terrible at multitasking because we are easily distracted. The following will teach you how to incorporate deep work within your life. Work deeply. Embrace boredom. Quit social media. Drain the shallows. Rule 1. Work deeply. Due to the amount of effort working deep requires, many do not want to engage in it. Considering our environment's culture, it becomes even more challenging to deploy. We have finite willpower. As it gets depleted, we tend to favor shallow work. Rule 2. Embrace boredom. Acute concentration is a skill you should cultivate. Like how athletes take optimal care of their bodies outside the training sessions, you need to hone your concentration skills outside your deep work sessions. If you give in to distractions every day of your life at the slightest sign of boredom, it will become challenging to cultivate the intense concentration needed for deep work. Also, you will need to train and retrain your brain for on-demand distraction. This will lead to a vicious cycle of being distracted repeatedly, even when you truly want to work deeply. To prevent this, embrace boredom. Stop yourself from checking your phone notifications every time there is a beep. Train your ability to resist distractions. Rule 3. Quit social media. Social media are prime examples of shallow living. As the author points out, they offer nothing beneficial in return for all the time we give them. It will be a barrier to working deep if you feel the urge to check your social media account every few minutes. Due to addictive tendencies, deep living and social media do not go well together. Rule 4. Drain the shallows. The Shallows, a book by Nicholas Carr, depicts the adverse effects of the internet on our mental life. Examples of shallow work from the previous chapters include attending meetings, making phone calls, answering emails, and many other low-value activities. If you want to work deep, you need to drain the shallows, create time for deep work, and spend little time doing shallow work. Did you know you can implement deep work into your life by creating rituals and routines? This way, deep work becomes second nature to you. Key point 5. Sticking to routines will help you ritualize deep work. Engaging in deep work in a world that encourages shallow work is challenging. We can benefit from establishing rituals and routines to reduce the willpower needed to transition into a session of unbroken concentration. 4 broad approaches can help you carve time for deep work. Do not rely on shortcuts. They are less effective because they demand high willpower and are not sustainable. Choose any of the following approaches, or mix 2 or more to fit your lifestyle. Monastic, which means cutting off oneself from distractions completely, similar to monks in a monastery. Bimodal. This approach alternates between living an everyday engaged life and a monastic one. The author, for instance, took turns between a regular therapy practice and social life while he was in Zurich, and an ascetic mode in his retreat house, where he writes. Rhythmic. This approach involves setting a fixed time for deep work every day. You can do this between 5 to 7 a.m. or during the week. It may be Tuesdays and Thursdays. Journalistic. Fit deep work into your schedule anytime you can. It is similar to a journalist being ready to write a piece on a deadline when the need arises. Being strict with your schedule is key. Many successful people say that discipline helps them focus on their work. While there's no one correct way to work, these approaches can guide you to bring deep work into your life. Key point 6. The value of systematic idleness. The author argues that there should be regular and substantial leisure time when you are free from professional concerns. This systematic idleness will help you get deep work done, and these are the reasons why. Downtime aids insights. Your unconscious will take care of any lingering issues you have. Therefore, if you occupy your mind with these leisure activities, you will be better at making decisions after reaching more insight. Downtime is needed to recharge your energy. During deep work, you use a form of energy called directed attention. It is a limited resource. To recharge, you need to take a break. Downtime usually replaces work that is not very important. The capacity to burst into deep work on any given day is finite. In most cases, it is only for a couple of hours. Once you have exhausted these hours, any task that comes after is less productive and less critical. Please note, downtime is not the same as shallow work, and it does not also mean activities that have some part of your attention. It means true leisure, taking a stroll, a casual conversation with a friend, playing a game with your kid, listening to music, etc. Less mental clutter means more mental resources available for deep thinking. Cal Newport. So, how do you incorporate downtime into a daily routine? The author recommends a shutdown ritual. Completely shut off work issues until the following day. Do not check your emails after dinner. Stop planning for the next job and allow no mental replays of conversations. As much as you can, shut down thinking completely. The author, for instance, rarely works on weekends and ends his workdays by 5:30 p.m. Despite that, he has written many best-selling books and published several scientific papers yearly. On top of that, he won 2 competitive grants. Productivity is not about committing more hours to work. Instead, you should make the most of the hours worked and get optimal recovery from the hours you do not work. Conclusion. The truth is deep work is a pain in the neck. It is closely connected with our attention and keeping it undivided as long as possible on the same thing. You must fight distractions continually, concentrate by shutting them down, and staying away from social media. Limit the time you spend on the internet, plan your workdays and even leisure periods in advance, and many more. That sounds overwhelming, especially for those who grew up in the digital age. Distraction, for us, is synonymous with existence. However, it is a popular misconception. So is multitasking. This skill is very beneficial for a robot, carefully programmed by a human being, but not for a human being. If you are an employer, please stop demanding that your colleagues multitask. As an employee, you should know that you are more productive in less time when you concentrate on one task at a time. A profound life's not for everyone. For many people, it is too much work. They are more comfortable with artificial busyness. However, if you want optimal productivity, deploy your mind to the maximum and get things done effectively. There is no better way to pursue deep work and live a deep life. Try this. When next you need to get into a deep mode, shut down your social media notifications. Make sure not to switch to the next task until you have finished the ongoing one. There will be an attention residue, working in a semi-distraction state, which is counterproductive. Spend less time on the internet and no time playing games on your telephone or computer. Exert maximum productivity from the hour's work and maximum recovery from your downtime. With this, you will find it easier to switch to deep work when required.